Welcome to another exciting episode of All Four Downs Podcast. I'm your host, Obi-Wan, with my co-host, Hector V. As this is a special time, I know a lot of viewers and stuff are getting out of work, heading home, getting ready for the holidays. A lot of people traveling. And as you know, yeah, it's football. We got to love football. And this weekend, it is going to be full of action because we got football on Thursday. We got football on Friday. We got football on Saturday. And of course, we got football on Sunday. And of course, we got
Yeah.
football. But yeah, I love it. I'm loving it. And I tell you what, Hector over there is having some screenshot issues as he's getting darker and darker every time he's on video. So
Yeah,
we
but
hope
I got the thumbs up.
you got the thumbs up.
I got the thumbs up saying this is good lighting, I guess.
Yeah, half your face is good lighting.
I don't know. I got the thumbs up, dude. I don't know. It's not what I
Oh
used to.
man, I'm
But
wearing
if
the
she
hard
sees it,
hitting because I'm representing hard hitting over there, New Britain over there. Yes, New Britain, Connecticut. What's up? All the fans out there leaving messages on TikTok and stuff. Gladly appreciated on your views on which games and stuff. But I want me some money this weekend.
all right, talk about it. What you got? What
Man, I will
you see my
actually.
cash app?
Well, I try to reach out to you, and by the time you were like trying to confirm everything, it was already too late. It was already past 1 o'clock. But
But you know, you gotta hit me
1
up in the
o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which already the games were happening. But it was some great games. I had to change my picks, and yeah, I had five games that I picked. One of them was a push, but the last game that I needed for a win was the Eagles, and they covered. And thanks to Saquon Barkley, he is having an MVP season.
Yeah, talk about change, right? I know we talked about that a little bit ago off the air. You know, when you talk about change, sometimes we don't like change, but sometimes change is beneficial depending on what the situation is.
Yeah, absolutely. Depending on the situation, you're right. And I don't know, man. I'm like, there hasn't been that much change in the standings, but I do have to say the AFC standings for the playoffs is getting a little interesting because not much has changed from 1 through 7, and yet there's still a gap there because Denver Broncos holding the 7th seed.
Mm-hmm.
They got a 2-game lead above Miami. And then like everybody behind them, like Indianapolis, and all of a sudden now it's a far stretch, right? Because they already played 11 games, right? So you think about it, there's 7 more games left. Will there be a big difference? In the AFC. Cincinnati's outside looking in. Miami and Indianapolis gotta do better to catch up. And then you got everybody else like the Chargers, the Broncos, the Ravens, like they're just they're just sticking around, and it seems like it's a no-brainer, but anything can happen with the next 7 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on who these teams got left on their schedule,
Mm-hmm.
and how you're playing up to this point against these teams. And, it seems like, when they make these schedules in the beginning of the season, it's like you would think that somebody knows something, like these two teams are going to have an important game against each other somewhere between week 10 and 15 or something like that, for playoff implications. And that's what we're dealing with right now.
Right.
The Bengals look like they were dead in the water, and now they're rising up.
They're still dead in the water, man. Come on. Come on.
Hey, they
I
give
mean,
it
you think they're gonna win out to be 11-7? I don't think so.
We've seen stranger things happen.
Yeah, true. The stranger things is that the Pittsburgh Steelers beating the Baltimore Ravens and then turn around and lose to the Browns. Tom, don't blame the snow. I'm sorry. Don't
I
blame
was
the
going to
snow.
say, I mean, after looking at stats after the game, I seen that Pittsburgh had not done well in history when it comes to snow games against Cleveland. I don't know. It's weird. I did not find that stat. If I would have known that, I might have had a difference in opinion.
Yeah. Oh, so in other words, we need to tune into the weather report. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. Kansas City Chiefs do not look like a Super Bowl contenders.
No, they don't. Honestly,
No.
they're they're getting by, with what they got. I mean, they're winning the games that they're supposed to be winning, but is this, gonna get you deep into the playoffs? So right now, Buffalo owns a tiebreaker if it comes down to it. So, and I know
Sooner or
Buffalo.
later, teams are going down, but it just seems like when things like okay, they bump in the road against the Buffalo Bills, but then the rest of their schedule seems like cakewalk. You know what I mean? Like there's not much going on in the AFC West until you face the Denver Broncos.
Right.
And I'm Denver Broncos to me getting better and better each week. And I thought they were the team that was going to fall out.
No, the game. I mean, you're right. I mean, Bo Nix is really doing well with that team. I mean, we'll just see. Well, I just have to see if this was just a fluke later next year when it happens. Because like with that whole, Daniel Jones, Brian Dable, hot was it honeymoon when they went on that little run in the playoffs, and then now they fall apart.
You cannot compare that. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, you have a rookie quarterback.
He drafted Bo Nix. That's the difference. Dable did not draft Daniel Jones.
I get that.
Or they made a wrong investment.
I'm just hoping that Denver didn't make a wrong investment with Bo Nix.
All right, look, on the top two teams there, the Chiefs and the Bills. And then you have the Steelers, which, again, coming off of a loss. They Baltimore still got to get a bye week. But other than that, I mean, I still feel like the Steelers are not as good as their record has shown to be. That's just my opinion. But moving on to the NFC, the Detroit Lions 10-1.
They look solid. Definitely.
Yeah, they do. Philadelphia on a run.
Will it come to a halt this Sunday?
Nope.
I think you just told me who you're picking. Okay,
yep.
Thank you.
They're not. They're on fire. You take out Saquon Barkley, he get hurt. Bye-bye, Eagles.
So you're telling me Saquon's going to outshine Derrick Henry on Sunday?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I mean, look.
I'm writing it down right now.
Later.
You already made your pick. I'm writing it down right now.
No, I'm saying I will explain my reasons later. Okay. But there's a big gap between the Lions and the Eagles because of the fact that look at Seattle, look at Atlanta. Both those teams are 6-5. First place, 6-5, bro.
Yeah, I know. That's
crazy. And then you got the Minnesota Vikings, the Packers, and the Commanders, which the Commanders look like they slipping.
Well, they hit I could understand, the two losses that they got previous to the Cowboy loss. The Cowboy loss should have never happened. They really literally fell into a funk. And then we had a 41-point scoring barrage in the fourth quarter. It's like you made me fall asleep for 3 quarters, and now you want me to wake up and stay up and watch this fourth quarter barrage?
That
was just something else.
Yeah. Crazy. But looking at this, a lot of 5 and 6 teams that have potential. The Bucks, the Rams, and the 49ers. Oh, man. If I would have known the 49ers were banged up for this game, I wouldn't have even chose them. But I left it as it is. But, hey, it's interesting to see. I think the race is a little bit tighter in the NFC compared to the AFC just because the NFC South and the NFC West is like anyone's grab, right? And we might see the same thing that happened last year when I picked the Falcons, you picked the Saints, and then the Bucks came and took over that division at the last game, week 17. That was crazy. Yep. But let's go ahead and move on to our Thursday's games. Chicago Bears goes on the road against the Detroit Lions.
I don't see no upset here. I mean, I really don't. I don't see no Thanksgiving jitters. I don't see Detroit having a weakness at this point. I don't see a hole in any of the defense or the offense right now. I really don't. What can Chicago?
The Bears went on overtime to lose to the Vikings.
Right.
So their Bears are playing good ball. I'm not saying like they're not capable of putting an upset. And the Detroit Lions, I mean, yeah, they're 10-1, but Golf has a tendency of throwing interceptions. So I wouldn't be, I wouldn't recommend him doing theirs.
No, I don't either. And look at the offensive side of the ball for Detroit. I believe they're a double-digit favorite in this game, right? Am I looking at that right? I don't have my glasses on. I don't know.
Well, they're 97% of them to pick. But there are 9.5 points favored.
Okay, so they're not a 10 point. Okay, because I was gonna
It
say
started at 10.5, and then
it's dropped a
dropped
little
down
bit.
a point. Right.
Okay, because I know the Lions were favored that much in previously this year. They've scored 50+ points. It's like their offense is just unmatched right now against anybody, and I don't see how Chicago can beat them in a shootout because Detroit's defense is stellar at this point.
Yeah, I duly noted. I like how Chicago, which are 4-7 right now, and their point differentials is still positive. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well,
Crazy. Just want to know who they blow out just to keep it in the positive. So I got Detroit in this game.
I think that's fair enough. I think that's going to be a good game. I just don't see Chicago having two close games back to back against two division opponents like they, in Minnesota and Detroit. It always seems to me like one of them is going to be the flop, and I think this one's going to be the flop. You had your chance. You should have beaten Minnesota. You came back scoring 11 points in the last minute or so, and you just let that one slip through your fingers. That could have gave you momentum, but I'm sorry. This is going to be a short Thanksgiving for them.
Let's move on to the New York Giants on the road against the Dallas Cowboys. Locke is going to be the starting quarterback now for the Giants. And three quarterbacks now starting for the Giants. Jones is no longer there. And you look at the other side, the Cowboys, well, they won. Good for them. Finally, they beat Washington 34-26. The Giants continue to lose. And look, it's Thanksgiving, and it's in Dallas. I'm just going to say, just because of that, Cowboys should win.
Yeah,
matter of fact, Cowboys should blow out the Giants, to be honest with you.
If they keep the Giants in this game, then last week was just a fluke of a victory if you let the Giants stay in this one 4 quarters. There should be no reason.
All right, moving on to Miami Dolphins at the Green Bay Packers.
Nice. I think I'd be ready for this game. I'd rather save my Thanksgiving meal for this game right here because the first 2 games to me is just no-brainers. This one should be more of a competitive game here. The Dolphins are trending up in the right directions. Green Bay is, what can you say about Green Bay right now? But honestly, I'm going to go back to the weather thing. Now I'm ready. I'm really paying attention to the weather here. The Miami Dolphins and Tua I can't even pronounce his last name. I can't.
Tua Tagovailoa. Yep.
Yeah, Tua. Tua has not won a game when the temperature.
Easy there, Tua. Sound like that girl on the social media.
Tua. No, but Tua has. This game is going to be below 40 degrees. Yeah, Tua.
There you go.
So yeah, double T there is he doesn't fare well in cold weather for some reason. I don't know if it's because of Miami thing, but you would think because they play New York, Buffalo, and New England that they should be acclimated to cold weather. But this is a whole
different in Green Bay.
It is a whole different thing. It's not one of them. If this game stays below 40 degrees, as I think this weather should be, Tua is not faring well here. He's 0-7 all time in that kind of temperature.
Well, it's expected to snow.
That's even worse.
28 degrees.
Green Bay has the advantage here. I mean,
all right, fair enough. I got Green Bay as well. All right. Friday game though. Friday's game. Las Vegas Raiders on the road against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Black Friday, you got the silver and black attack against Kansas City. I like it. Get to eat a little bit leftovers if there's anything left. I like it. I like the Chiefs. I know. We talked about last year. They beat them on Christmas Day. But I don't see Kansas City dropping this game especially with the spread being so big as it is. This is just This is ridiculous.
Well, I'm definitely gonna pick up. I'm gonna take the spread.
Okay,
I
you
know it's
take the spread.
13. I'm taking the spread, and the way that the Chiefs are playing, I just they're just getting lucky. They're not blowing nobody out.
And that's what gets me. Why they make the spread
The
so
last
big.
5 games, they're up, and yeah, the Raiders they've lost by double digits. But when it comes to the holiday and they're in prime time, I think I'm going to get the best version. I'm going to take the Raiders over the Chiefs. I know it's crazy. I know. But it's just something about the holidays that the Raiders come and do good. And yeah, give me the Raiders.
I can't say that it's a bad pick.
It is a bad pick. It is.
Oh, the way you're
It
going.
is a bad pick for a lot of viewers. Be like, oh, he don't know what he's talking about. Listen,
well,
it's always, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. There's always that one game, right? But
even if it was in Oakland, remember in Oakland 2014, they did the same thing. It was Thanksgiving weekend or whatever, and they were able to pull out a victory. As a matter of fact, they won 24-20 against the Chiefs. Now, I know it wasn't Patrick Mahomes, but it is what it is. And it's almost like every holiday, the Raiders taking advantage against the Chiefs. That's their rivalry. It's always playing on a certain holiday. So this time around, it's Thanksgiving. I'm gonna blame it on the turkey against the Chiefs.
And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that the Raiders are technically the worst team in the NFL. They hold in the number one spot in the NFL draft right now.
No, they don't. They do not have the number one spot.
No.
Okay. I think the Jaguars.
And
then the Giants. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. But hey, I could be wrong.
No,
it is what it
is. It's hey, you just never know, man. But I don't see the Chiefs winning. 13 is too big for me. The way the Chiefs been playing football, I don't get it.
Well, the Chargers go on the road against the Falcons. Chargers, man, interesting game between the Harbaugh brothers, and yet Jim is 0-3 now against his brother.
Yeah, he's 0-3.
It's Jim, right? Not John. Jim.
No, Jim is the younger brother. Yeah, third.
Right,
yeah.
Exactly. But then look, 7-4. They have to win this game. Okay, they're going against Atlanta. Whoa. What we got for Atlanta? Let me see. I think it's a pick'em game. Look at that. Wow, what a coincidence. So a pick'em game of a 1.5. They come off a loss by a touchdown against Baltimore, but on the other side, Denver went ahead and just took care of business on the Falcons. So I don't even know why it's at 1.5. I need to know more about the reasons why it was this way. But I'm taking the Chargers to win.
Yeah, no, I agree. I was going to take the Chargers too. I mean, they're going on the Eastern Standard Time zone. They're 2-0 going that way. I know they're beating Cleveland and Carolina. I know it's probably not worth saying who they played, but the thing is, you still won, and so now it gets them away from home because they struggled to beat Cincinnati, and then they struggled against Baltimore, and that was just short-lived there. I think it's crazy to say, but I think it's better for them to be on the road now, away from home, just to relax and get their mindset back in track to try to keep themselves in the playoff contention. Atlanta, I think they're 3-3 at home. I think something like that, and so I thought I had high hopes for them, but I can't trust Kirk Cousins with anything right now. So I like Justin Herbert in this situation. So give me the Chargers on this one.
All right, Pittsburgh Steelers against the Cincinnati Bengals.
Call me crazy, but I don't see how Pittsburgh. I don't see Pittsburgh winning this game. I really don't.
Well, tell me why.
So against Pittsburgh, Joe Burrow is 3-2. He has 11 touchdowns. He has 11 touchdowns and 5 career starts against the Steelers. I mean, that to me tells me that he knows the Steelers defense pretty well. I know the Steelers defense is playing pretty well this year, but their offense ain't producing anything. And I think I don't think the Steelers is going to be able to get to him like they have been giving to everybody else. This Bengal team is just, the way they played against the Chargers 2 weeks ago tells me that they can play with the best of them. And I'm telling you, don't be surprised if that 4-7 record becomes 7-7 or 8-7 come 3 to 4 weeks from now. These Bengal teams could start waking things up and start changing the dynamics of the playoff situation.
I got you. I totally understand. And believe it or not, Cincinnati, even though they're 4-7, they have outscored Pittsburgh. Now, this is their first meet this year, but Cincinnati have scored a total of 297 offensive points.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, on the other hand, 252, and yet they've won 8 games. So they've won double, but scored less. Okay. And I told you, and I'm going to stick to it. I think they got lucky against the Ravens, maybe because they know how to play the Ravens, but I don't think they're ready for Joe Burrow.
They got lucky not only with the Ravens, but with the Commanders.
But they lost to the Browns.
I know. And now they're playing another Ohio team.
Yeah. Yeah. And what's the weather at like there? Let me see. 32 degrees. That's beneficial for both teams.
Yeah.
But I'm going to take the whole team, and I'm going to go with Cincinnati myself.
Gotcha.
All right. Arizona Cardinals versus the Minnesota Vikings. I don't like the Arizona Cardinals. I really don't. And I'm not just being a hater. It's just sometimes I see these offensive plays that the Cardinals do, and I ask myself, like, how? How could this be possible? It's almost like Kyler Murray is just throwing the ball with his eyes closed.
Yeah.
Okay. And the last time the Cardinals went to the Vikings, it was 2022 Halloween, and they lost 34-26. Okay. It's at Minnesota. They don't do good in Minnesota. Matter of fact, they've lost 6 in a row in Minnesota. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 in a row. There you go. I'm taking the Vikings to win.
I got the Vikings too. Look, I know the Vikings are 4-1 at home. Okay. And Arizona was on a 4-game winning streak before they got snapped last week. And Murray hit the ground 5 times. He got sacked like 5 times in that game. Okay. If that doesn't get any better this week, Minnesota's going to do what they want to do against this Arizona Cardinal team and make and give everybody else in that NFC West an opportunity to take over first place. So the Cardinals are a mess. The whole division is a mess. I think Minnesota really gets back on track with this victory.
Okay. Let's go ahead with the Colts and the Patriots.
This one was a tough one, honestly. I did not know where I was going with this one. Do I trust Drake May? Do I go with Anthony Richardson? I really didn't know where to go with this one. So I'm going with the Colts on this one. I'm going to give it a shot again. Really, I mean, I guess I got to look at my stats to see what my record is with the Colts because good night. We never know who's quarterbacking that team nowadays. And so
you never know. Look, man, the Colts have won. Listen, they lost 4 of the last 5 games, right? They barely beat the New York Jets 28-27. They're relying on Anthony Richardson. I got it. On the other side, the Patriots only beating the Bears and the Jets. They did a little bit better to the Jets. So if anything, I'm going for the Patriots. I'm going for the home team on this one. Why? I have no idea. I just got to. Because neither of these two are very, how you say it? I just don't understand now that these two teams both have a losing record. And to me, this is a pick'em game for me. So I'll take New England.
You know, this game, it doesn't even have the significance like it used to in the past. I understand changes happen, but where was the Manning versus
Brady? Yeah, you're right. You're right. Let's go ahead and talk about the Seahawks and the Jets. Oh, yeah, Seahawks. Can I say, you want to elaborate more on this?
I don't see the Seahawks losing to another New York team. I really don't.
No.
I mean, they lost to the Giants at home.
Aaron Rodgers need to retire. That's all I'm saying. He tried to be Brady. Can't be Brady.
No.
Yeah, that's another thing. Look, watch this. If you are the elite, he's been won MVP for 4 times already.
Yeah.
Right? If you're so valuable, how come you can't go to a different team and make them better? Tom Brady did. He took the worst coach of football, made him great. The former Jets head coach is the coach of Tampa Bay. Okay, garbage. Tom Bowles, right? Tom Bowles or Bowles or whatever his name
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
right? And they won. They won. Aaron Rodgers, he's still getting players. We got Devontae Adams, still garbage. Just saying. Seahawks, yes. Titans and the Commanders, interesting game. I do got to say, this one's got to be interesting. What's your take?
I feel the Commanders are going to bounce back. 3 straight losses. You know, when they looked like they were riding high in the NFC, everything just came crashing down on them. I think this is a bounce back game. You know, I think Jaden Daniels will, get things cleaned up on that offensive side with that line and everything because he took 10 sacks in those 3 games. That's a lot of time sitting that game. But, he's a rookie, so he's going to hit those learning curves, right? So I'd see them coming back, turning things around, especially back at home, where they started this losing streak against Pittsburgh. So why not come back home, fit, and just tighten up the ship a little bit? I think they take down Tennessee.
Well, I'm looking at the history of the Titans and the Commanders, and neither team has ever won more than 2 consecutive games against each other. Let's put it that way.
Right.
The Commanders lose 3 in a row, Pittsburgh, Philly, and Dallas, like you mentioned, right? Titans is coming off a win against Houston.
Yeah.
Coming off a close game against the Vikings. They played the Chargers. There was never a blowout. Now you got a team that's going to be neck to neck. I believe that they're going to make it 3 in a row against the Commanders. I'm taking the Titans.
Oh. Yeah, you got a lot of catching up to do anyway, so.
Yeah, I know. I got to do a lot of catching up. But you know what? I think this pick is worth it. But we just talked about the Texans. They're on the road against the Jaguars. If they can't do nothing against the Jaguars, I don't know what to say about the Texans. But I'm taking the Texans.
Yeah, I got Texans too. I think they start turning things around here.
They have to turn things around.
Yeah. Because if they don't, then they're gonna be looking up at Indianapolis.
Well, one of these 2 teams are gonna have to turn things around, and that is the Rams going on the road against the Saints. 5-6 Rams, 4-7 Saints. Who you got?
I'm going for the Rams.
The
Rams, the RAMs. Yeah. I just think if the Rams could establish a running game, then that's gonna cause a lot of problems for the Saints. Okay. When the Saints allow more than 100 rushing yards in a game, they can't seem to win a game. And so I think if the Rams can run this ball down their throat in New Orleans, I think it could be a good day for Matthew Stafford and his boys.
All right. I'm not trying to do this by purpose, man, but I'm actually got the Saints on this one. I think it's a home field advantage. I think both teams, when they play at home, if this was in Los Angeles, I would have picked the Rams. But being as it's at the Saints, I'm taking the Saints on this one.
Hey, I ain't mad.
And the fact that Saints are actually winning 2 in a row. They beat Atlanta and Cleveland. I think there's more momentum moving in. Somebody got to make some noise in the South. Why not the Saints? So I got the Saints.
And look, both teams need a win big time because they see the state of their divisions and how they're both still in it in the race for their respective division titles. So yeah.
Yep. And this is the 3rd straight home game for the Saints. So they need this before they hit the road. Let's go ahead with the Buccaneers and the Panthers.
Give me Baker Mayfield. Who's doing all this? Boy, that ticked me off. Oh well, it is what it is.
The Bucs beat the Panthers January 7th. It was the last game of the season, 9-0 to go ahead and clinch into the playoffs. Okay. They've beaten the Panthers 3 in a row. They're gonna make it 4 in a row.
Yeah.
Got the Bucs.
I got the Bucs.
All right. Eagles and Ravens. I already told you my pick at the beginning of the show. The Eagles are going to fly into Baltimore and fly back.
Yeah, the Eagles are going to fly into Baltimore, but they're going to go back with wounded wings because I got Baltimore in this game.
Ah, oh man.
I want to see what Saquon Barkley can do against the number 2 rush
But
defense
he
in
but
the.
he's done it to the Ravens before. But
Well,
then he just got a better offensive line.
okay, well, we're gonna see because this Ravens defense is number 2 in the league in rushing.
What's
Okay,
the spread in this game anyway?
I don't know.
It is
I think 3
3.
maybe 3. Okay.
Ravens are favored by 3 points. And here's the history. Last year, final score, I'm sorry, in 2020 was 30-28. 4 years before that, 27-26. Before that, 24-23.
Look, I'll give you this: the Eagles got the number 1 defense in the league, and they're matching up against the number 1 offense in the league. And what better way of fitting to see this late in the season with 2 teams who are in second place fighting to get. Well, no, I'm sorry. One is in second, one is in first, but things can turn real quickly in a heartbeat, depending on what Pittsburgh and Washington do in their respective divisions. But the number 1 defense versus the number 1 offense, we know defense wins championships.
Oh, I don't know about that number 1 defense, man, because Philadelphia's only giving up 199 points. Baltimore's giving up 294. So when you say number 1 defense
for the Eagles, Eagles. Against the Ravens offense.
Yeah, but you know what? The last 5 games, the Eagles have outscored the Ravens. They got that one game against Denver when they won 41-10, right? You right? And then the other game that's against Cincinnati, they won 35-34. I'm telling you that the Ravens defense is not going to hold up against the Eagles.
No. I get that. It's just that can the Ravens offense stand up against the Eagles defense?
I don't think so. I don't think Lamar Jackson's got what it takes against the Eagles. I think
he does. I think he has.
I think they're going to take that playbook from the Steelers and they're going to use it against them. Exactly.
Nah.
No, Lamar Jackson's overrated in my book. I'm telling you.
I agree with that. I'm not going to sit here and say he's Mr. MVP, but I just think in this situation,
every year he's a Mr. MVP. If it's not him, then it's somebody else. I'm like, come on, man. 49ers and the Bills. I'm taking the Bills.
I got the Bills. I'm not going to make that mistake again last week.
And Monday Night Football, the Cleveland Browns versus the Denver Broncos. The Broncos.
Give me Bo Broncos.
Okay.
Bo's Broncos. We're going to call them that.
You don't want the Browns?
No, we're going to call them Bo's Broncos.
Bo's Broncos. Yeah. Listen, I like Bo Nix. I'm a big fan of Bo Nix, and I'm going to keep riding high with him just because I've seen him play with Auburn, saw him transfer over there to Oregon. He's pretty brilliant. He had bad luck. Couldn't beat Washington to make it to the playoffs, and that's okay. But I think this guy's prepared. And he's just getting better every week. And the number 1 fan for the Denver Broncos is my compadre. And he hates Bo Nix for some reason. He's overthrowing the ball. I was like, dude, he's a rookie. Let him be. He's gonna get there, right? You got the best defense in the house. Let him be. Everybody likes this guy, man, and he's trying hard.
Yeah, no.
And the receivers know, right? And there's been some close calls where he's throwing them and the receivers could get hurt, but he's learning. It's a different speed. It's not like college. And I think he's warming up, man. I got confidence in the Broncos, man. I really do.
I just hope they don't choke this game away because the last 3 games, the Broncos haven't had a turnover. And during that time,
why you gotta bring that up?
I'm just saying because Myles Garrett is on the other side of that ball. Okay. And so
he's the only entire Browns looking garbage.
Well, I'm just saying he has 6 sacks in his last 3 games, so you got to be careful with that man.
They're going to be over their heads because they beat the Steelers, right? But they're going to mile high. They won't be able to breathe.
Well, I hope so. I mean, like I said, I'm on point with you, but I just hope Bo Nix doesn't choke this game away and stop messing up.
Yeah. All righty then. It's cool. All right. Yeah.
It's a lot of differences.
Is it?
You got a lot of catching up to you.
Oh, I guess I win all of them now.
Well, you're gonna need all of them.
Yeah. Let's not go about our records now.
Oh no, you sure?
Yeah. We'll tune in next week. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
By winning all these games, you're gonna put a little dent.
But I tell you what, it is Thanksgiving tomorrow, and I am so grateful. And the reason why I'm grateful is that look, Hector's from Texas. I'm here in Connecticut, and the whole family's here is all in different parts, right? And growing up, we've seen our families expand to different parts of our country here, and who knows where else. But this comes a time where we have to be grateful that we stay connected, right? And as we gather to celebrate the season of gratitude,
Right.
we want to take a moment to say thank you. Your support, feedback, and passion for the All Four Downs podcast, the CMG Sports, and our other show, the HHW Show podcast, to make what we are so rewarding. Okay. We are grateful for every download, comment, share, laugh, or debate. You're not just listeners, you're family. And we couldn't do this without you. And again, we're doing this for fun.
Yeah.
We're not trying to build a resume to be on TV. We love doing this. We love talking about it. And we've been doing this really before even a podcast since we met for 20 plus years now.
Oh my gosh.
And I would like to say thank you to all the listeners, to everyone, all the followers, everybody. May your Thanksgiving be filled with love, laughter, and plenty of pie. I love me some pie.
I love me some pie.
Yep. Pumpkin pie, apple pie, pecan pie, blueberry pie.
I go for the sweet potato pie.
Ooh, man, I can't wait till
some whipped cream.
I'm just gonna dive right in there. But look, stay tuned for most of our great episodes ahead. As always, thank you for being a part of our journey. Warm wishes on behalf of myself, Obi-Wan, and Hector V. Thank you. Please be safe out there. And thank you for listening to All Four Downs.
Peace.